Hello everybody, how you doing? Wee Paddy from across the shock. And I'm in my dressing gown. It is about 20 to 2 in the morning on Monday morning and I can't sleep. I was down in Caravan the weekend and I'm sorry for the no content, but the weather, we had this storm, Derek or whatever it was, came across, tried wrecking our shores this weekend. I never got our internet connection down there is all right, but it's not great. So I didn't get to upload any videos, so I apologise for that. But I'll make up for it this week. So, it's Paddy's Parlour broadcast, and what will I entitle this one? I was going to say Grumpy Old Man because I can't sleep, but we'll see. I'll give it a title of some sort. But let's get the business out of the way first, and then we'll go on to it, because it leads in a different direction. As you know, down below, or if you don't know, there's a video down below explaining for the podcast crew, as I'm now going to call yous. I'd asked for donations, and it's been put into my PayPal account, which is down below. I'm not going to go through that. There's a video explaining what we're going to do. But I'd just like to let you know, we're up to about £50. That's only a couple of weeks, so I'm over the moon. So we're saving up for a knife, and then we're going to do different tasks for that knife. I suggested the first task was go down to the woods and make a hobo shelter using just the knife that we buy. First of all, it was going to be, I'd suggested a native 5 in Maximate to see what it was like in wood. So I thought, that's fine. But that's going to change tonight. Well, it's not that it's going to change. This is a joint decision, but I'll let you decide later on when we get back to it again. But the details of that are down below in the video explaining what we're going to do with the money and how you can donate. And there's Paddy's t-shirts going to be on it, and they're exclusive to the podcast crew. Now, what else is there? Yes, this is the grumpy old man bit again. I just seem to be grumpy when I get my podcast, but I'm not a grumpy person. It just so happens, you know, when you're trying to think of things to talk in a podcast, you have to think of relevant things that are going on at the minute. And most of the times I'm doing videos, it's happy videos about my wee knife and whatever. But when it comes to the podcast, the things that normally catch your attention are the things that grate you or just get up your nose a wee bit. So what better way when you're sitting in front of a bit of plastic, talking to it in the middle of the night, cup of tea in one hand, knife in the other, thinking all sorts in your head. So it is a wee bit grumpy. And I'll tell you what it's about. I was watching a video earlier on tonight, and it's my mate Zach's from Zach Stuff, which is a great channel. I'll put it down below. He got the new... Well, not the new, he got the limited edition Benchmade celebrating 20 years of the 940. I couldn't get the name of it. The Benchmade 940, which, as you know, was my Grail knife. When I first came around, I thought, you know, I would never be able to spend that kind of money on a knife. That's a bit of a joke, but there we go. This is one I got from Jeff Jewell, who, by the way, poor Jeff got a really bad break in his ankle and his foot, and he's recovering, and I just want to send him my best wishes from all in Ireland. And the community, just to say, get well soon, big lad, because he's having a rough old time. He was in a lot of pain there, and he has a lot of physio to go to get him back working again. So my thoughts are with Jeff Jewell. And I'm sure a lot of you as well. But anyway, I digress again. I was watching a video where Zach had got the new Benchmade 940. It's the deluxe, the limited edition one for the celebration of the 20 years of the 940. I can't believe that knife is 20 years old, and it hasn't changed much at all in that whole 20 years. It's just an amazing work knife. This is the sort of knife that a workman would want and use, and he'll get a lifetime out of it. Simple Little Lies, is it Simple Little Lies? No, it's that other fella that does it. He's a big channel where he's a farmer on his homestead. But anyway, he absolutely killed one of these, and I mean he worked it to death, and then it was still resurrected again. But It's a knife that can just do anything. It's a master of nothing, but it can do anything. And I mean, this is the knife I go to if you want anything done and you're not worried, about what the knife is. This knife will do it, and I still love it to this day. But it got me thinking. I mean, now this is what I want to say. Zach is one of my favourite channels to sub to. He is the most down to earth, generous, and he has given me recently just sent me the Rustic Gent for nothing, and it just sent it in the post to me, which was just, and it was before it even had got to the shop. So this is nothing to do with Zach whatsoever, and Zach is a Benchmade man out and out, and I am so glad he got one. If you don't know, they've only made 2,000 of them. Now, kindly, to celebrate the fact that we're buying the Benchmade 940 in their droves still after 20 years, they kindly just done a batch of 2,000 and doubled the price off them and made them in titanium and fancy stuff. And, sorry, let me say it out loud again. To thank us for supporting them for 20 years and buying this knife, they made a special run of 2,000, doubled the price, and put titanium and all on them as a reward, what is that for? It's 200 years, or 200 years, 20 years of a Benchmade 940. We're celebrating it, so you're going to double the price, make it fancy, so that most of the working man will never see one. Well, they're all sold anyway now. I think they were sold in the first day or 2 days. So the chances, we're not going to get one. So, is that a way? I don't get that. How does that reward your loyal customers for years of buying this knife? You double the price, make it titanium, double the price off it, only make 2,000, and you're saying thank you for all the money you've put into my company over 20 years buying this knife. I'm sorry, is it just me? Am I just a grumpy old man? But why didn't they just put, a special logo on it or something saying 20-year celebration? Just make the basic knife. Don't do a fancy titanium one, just do as the basic one. And take 50 quid off it. And say, here, there's a thank you for having 20 years of buying our knives. Sometimes, these companies say that, they're all for their customers. Doubling the price of something, making it fancy material, and then it's not a work knife, because how many people are going to spend £400 or $400 on a knife and then take it to work when they've got one of these probably already in their drawer? What would you take? So, I'm a grumpy old git. But it sort of irked me. I thought, well, why on earth would you do that? What sort of a reward, what sort of a thank you is that to the people? And let's be honest, this is the sort of knife you're talked into buying. And it's not, the average man who's not interested in knives, getting into knives, this is a big deal to get one of these knives. And they have done it in their droves over the years. Everybody tells you this is the knife you want, as an EDC knife, as a work knife, this is the one you want. And the company thanks you by doubling the price and only making 2,000. So there you go. There you go. I'm a bit annoyed at that, I have to say. I mean, I couldn't see why they can't just make a green one or make one make it a gold colour. I mean, it's only aluminium. You're only putting a colour on it. Make a gold one and say 20 years. Put on it 20 years or something. Thank you. But there you go. I'm not the CEO of Benchmade. More's a blooming pity. Now, what else? Do you know what I was on today? We had the storms over here, and I thought sometimes we'll forget to say it, and it's a shame on us for forgetting to say it, but there's a serviceman over here in the UK. We're called in to help with the flooding and the storms. I'd just like to say, my goodness, some of us complain and moan about the money it's spent on the forces and all this about wars, but the armed forces are not just about wars. There's them boys out helping with the floods and helping people with their houses. and they're working their socks off. They really will work their socks off to help protect them and keep their houses safe and whatever. And I just would like to say thank you. Now, that's not just the armed forces. There's the police, there's the volunteers, the amount of volunteers there. Thank all of them. And I think that happens in all countries throughout the world. I think we just need to keep thanking our armed forces. I'm just doing that. I'm an ex-serviceman and I just know what it's like. Because I can remember 1977, over here, there was, I had just joined the Navy. I was in the second phase of training and the fire service went on strike. So all the services, we became firemen. Even me became a fireman. That's scary now. But and to be able to do that community service was amazing as a now I was only a young sailor, but I mean it was still an amazing thing to be part of, and seeing the members of the public who were so pleased to see you come. It was unbelievable, and you could see that the morale being lifted when you turn up, because the firemen were on strike. So anyway, so there we go. Thank you, servicemen. That's got that down. Now, I done a wee video last week on clones. By goodness, did that take off. I mean, we're getting close to 6,000 subs, 6,000 views in about 3 days, which is not normal for my channel. I don't normally get that many, but, you know, in a short space of time. And it was brilliant. Now, I didn't answer the replies or the comments. You see, on clone videos, you can never answer right or wrong. I'm just going to put that out there. If you haven't got a channel, and when you do a clone video, you get haters, you get all sorts on it, and you get people who don't agree with you showing it, people who do agree with you showing it, all sorts. So on a clone video like that, I decided, no, I'm not going to get involved. I was just putting something out there. Funny enough, it was a Benchmade. It was the bug out. Slap it into them now. But I done the video of the clone because it was a scary one and I thought people should know. So, but it was really nice that there was that many people were interested in it, and at least they know now. If you're going to buy a bug out, be very, very careful, because that was an amazing clone. An amazing clone. But another thing that happened this week that was really, really nice. After the last week's podcast, we were talking about, the title was Traditionals and Modern Traditionals. And I really enjoyed the chat about traditionals, modern traditionals, and what I'm looking for in modern traditionals and also traditionals. Well, down below, afterwards, there was this fella called Mike Latham. He donated to the wee thing, which I thought was lovely, and I didn't click with the name. But I'm not very up to date with all the names. I didn't click with the name. And I just wanted to mention him publicly, because I know he got a bit of a harassing when they were doing the HRC testing and all that. I believe there was a bit of harassing. But I just want to say that man commented down below on that video, and he was explaining how they make modern traditionals, why they make them with maybe the higher steel in them. And I'm just going to break that into a way. It was a complete, it was nearly a half a book. He just went into so much detail, which I completely was blown away that somebody of his stature would take the time on a wee channel like mine to explain the differences when he's making. I mean, like the simple things he was saying, like I was saying, we don't need M390, on a steel. And he was saying, but the people now that are wanting modern traditionals want the higher steel. That's not the cost to them. I mean, it doesn't cost him that much more putting a 440C or an M3. It doesn't. That's not the big cost that it goes to the company. The rest, it's all in design and whatever. But most people now want the modern titanium, they want M390. So he has to make his knives to suit the people he's selling to who want them. obviously that's business. Why wouldn't he? But he went into such detail, and I thought it was really, really lovely of him to take the time. And I answered him back, and then he explained even more. In fact, he said at the beginning of it, which made me laugh, he said, "Look, I'm probably going to explain this more than you'll want me to," but he was very wrong. He explained it, and I have to say, he's gone way up in my estimation of. So he's not just somebody out to get your dough. He took time. He's obviously watching all sorts of channels to see what's going on, and probably the modern traditional thing was highlighted, but he took the time to come into a little channel, listen to what was being said, and then explained his side of it as a manufacturer. And I'm still blown away by it. I'm still blown away. It took me so, and that's where I was going to link back to the first part of the video. Instead of maybe going for a Spyderco Maximum or something, what about the knife? The people are in this little buy a knife and use it for all sort of different tasks. What about getting a knife from Mike Latham? Has anybody got any knives that they're there and they're thinking of buying? They would like to buy one, or us to buy one on the channel, and we'll use it, test it, and see what it comes out like. And I thought, well, there's a nice way to repay somebody who took the time to give us feedback. How many big companies give us the feedback? So let me know what you think of that down below. If you've donated, or you're going to donate in the future, if you've got any views on if it'd be okay for me to maybe change my mind and get one of his knives. I mean, it's as simple as that. I wouldn't be able to afford to buy the knife and get it posted over here and pay customs, but with this wee podcast group that was sort of got, we could do that okay. And I thought we'd just save up for it until we get it. So let me know what you think on that. Clones. Yes, on the clone video, there seemed to be an awful lot of interest. And I am not promoting clones. Whatever you want to call them, I'm not promoting them. They're just out there. I mean, I don't have anything to do with them. I'm not backed by any sponsors. Well, anything that's going to affect me buying knives, I'm not affected by. I just buy what I want to buy. And if I see something that's a clone, I want to see how good it is, because to me it's important, to see how good it is, what it's like. So is anybody interested in that side of it, just let me know, because I don't want to look, I'll not be buying one a week. I'm talking about, would you like, maybe once a month I nip and I buy a wee clone from AliExpress, and I'll put it in the channel and you can see what it's like. Not to buy it, but so that you don't buy it, if that makes any sense. And also there's a lot of people on my channel who don't have the money. I've said this before, and I don't want to say it over and over again, but they don't have the money to buy the more expensive knives out there. And sometimes it's nice to get them in hand. I mean, I remember I held the Ganzo, one of these. The Ganzo sort of copy. It's nothing like this. It's huge compared to this. It's heavy. It was nothing like it. But it done for me as a stand-in until I was able to get this. So I've got to remember those people in our channels. We have to, because they're the up-and-coming me's. Because back then I was thinking, £50, I'm not spending £50, and I'm not spending £100, I'm not spending £200. Jeez, I just spent £500 on a knife. So I'm one of them people who started with nothing and with wee clones and things, and I've gone to where I am now, where I don't think there is an upper limit. There only is to the cash I've got in the bank. But so let me know if you think. If you like, once a month I go buy something that's clone-ish or whatever, and I'll let you see what it's like, and tell you a bit more about it, so that you can be forewarned or forearmed, or you can go get one if you need one. So, and I hope that doesn't upset manufacturers, because, I mean, tough luck. I'm sorry, because it's part of life. There's no point saying you don't like them or you're not going to have it. People will buy it. They're there. they're for the world to see. I'm just letting you see what's out there. The weather, like that bug out, was dangerously good. So there we go. Now, I've had a right old moan. It's now nearly 2 o'clock in the morning. I think that'll do me for this week. I'll put the details of our the wee video explaining what I was talking about with the club, the knife club that we've started. And Benchmade, how's it like doing one for the people who support you? A lot of the fancy knives are maybe a couple of thousand people, but I would say the biggest support you ever had was of people buying this knife and the cheaper versions of it, not the expensive version. So, maybe something for thought. I'm away. Take care, everybody. Thank you very much. And from Paddy's Parlour podcast, what time is it? It's cup of tea time. All the best. See you next week. Bye now.